Chapter 2 study guide. This is reviewing our Chapter 2 on expressions and equations. So question 1, evaluate each expression when a equals -9 and b equals 16. So letter A says 36 minus b. So we're going to substitute 16 in for b, and we have 36 minus 16, and that's going to give us 20. Next, I have a over 3. So a divided by 3. So a is -9. So we have -9 divided by 3. This is going to give us a -3. Question 2, write each word phrase as an algebraic expression or equation. So 14 less than a number. So a number, I'm going to use n for number because that's our unknown. I don't know what that is. Less than means I'm subtracting. So I'm going to have minus. And then 14. So don't get confused with less than as a comparison symbol. For this one, it's just an algebraic expression or equation, not an inequality. Next, 10 times a number is 4 less than the number. So 10 times a number is 4 less. So 10 times a number, so 10 times a number is 4 less than a number. So then we're going to just do minus 4 because it's 4 less than the number, and the number was n, and it's 10 times that number is going to be 4 less than that. Okay. Letter C, a number divided by 9. So I'm going to use n for the number. It's divided by 9. Or you can write it as n divided by 9 this way. Either way, those would be correct. Next, we want to simplify each expression. So here, if there's any multiplication or parentheses, I want to get rid of those. So right now, I can combine like terms. So I have 7 plus 6 is 13. And then I have plus 3p. And then I have 4 times 2p is 8p. So this is a minus 8p. And then I can combine like terms, but let me put this p back in here for the 3. This is going to equal 13. And then 3p minus 8p is a negative 5p. Letter B, we have 6g squared plus 5h squared minus 3g squared minus 8h squared. So I do all the g squares first. So 6 minus 3 is 3g squared. And then 5h squared minus 8h squared is a negative 3h squared. Make sure you don't change the variables or the exponents. They have to stay the same. You're only adding and subtracting the coefficients, which are the numbers in front of the variables. Letter C, we need to distribute the 4. So that's going to give us 4w squared x plus 8wx minus w squared x. And then I got to subtract a negative 5, which is really adding 5wx. So don't forget to distribute that negative 1 to both terms. Now I can simplify. I have 4w squared x minus 1w squared x, which is 3w squared x. And then I have 8wx plus 5wx equals a positive 13wx. Question 4, we need to write the word phrase for the expressions below. So this would be 8 times a number. Or you can write 8 times c minus 6. Now there's more than one way of writing it. I'm just writing it one way. You could say the difference of the product of 8 and c and 6. That also works. This next one, I would have 4 times. And because this part is in parentheses, I would say the sum, which is the answer to an addition problem, of t and 8. So when doing these, my recommendation would be just keep it as simple as possible So however you read it, I would write it very similar to that, the way you say it. Question 5. Solve each equation. So here we're using the properties of equality. So the opposite of adding 21 is subtracting 21. So I do that on both sides. And so doing that, I'm left with a on the left side, and 33 minus 21 is 12. Next, I look for the variable j. J plus 2 equals negative 14. So the opposite of adding 2 is subtracting 2. So I subtract 2 on both sides, and j is going to equal, since both of them are negative, I would have a negative 16. I just add the two numbers with a negative sign. And then this next one here, we got negative 25 equals y minus 19. The opposite of subtracting 19 is adding 19. So I'm going to do that on both sides. And that leaves us with y is equal to 25. Negative 25 plus 19 is a negative 6. Moving on to our next ones, we have D. Here we have the multiplication property, so we want to do the opposite of multiplication, which would be division. So the opposite of multiplying by negative 4 is divide by negative 4. So I'm going to do that on both sides, and that's going to give us an answer of B equaling a negative 1. Letter E. Here, if I see us subtracting a negative, I'm really adding the opposites. So now the opposite of adding 2 is subtracting 2. So I do that on both sides, and I'm left with 7x is equal to 28. The opposite of multiplying by 7 is divide by 7. When I do that, I'm left with an answer of x equaling 4. Next here, the opposite of subtracting 6, and I'm treating this as minus 6, because if you're adding a negative 6, you're really subtracting 6. So I'm going to add 6 to both sides. And I'm left with m divided by negative 2 is equal to 19. The opposite of dividing by negative 2 is multiplying by negative 2. So I do that on both sides. And I'm left with m is equal to a negative 38. And letter G. 6w minus 2w is 4w. That equals 44. The opposite of multiplying by 4 is divide by 4. Do that on both sides, and w is going to equal 11. And our last few questions. A rectangle has a perimeter of 70 centimeters and a length of 21 centimeters. What is its width? So perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. And we know the perimeter is 70. The length is 21, so that's 2 times L, or 2 times 21, plus 2W. So 2 times 21 is 42, plus 2W has to equal 70. To get 2W by itself, I'm going to subtract 42 on both sides. That leaves us with 28 equaling 2W. The opposite of multiplying by 2 is divide by 2, so I do that on both sides. And the width is going to give us 14, and this will be 14 centimeters. And our last one, how many square meters of contact paper are needed to cover a poster measuring 10 meters by 20 meters? So this is an area problem, and this will be a rectangle, so area equals length times width. So we need to find the A when it's a 10 by 20. So I multiply that. The area is going to give us 200. This will be square meters. So that is a quick review on expressions and equations.